Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke.
And I'm Emily. Welcome back to a Saturday morning edition coffee talk of A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yes.
Quite. This morning we're doing chapters 39 through 42.
Yes, and if you've been following along the series, you know we're doing chapter and chapter, section by section reactions and reviews. If you want to follow along and support the channel, you can buy the book via the links in the description below. You can also join the membership. It doesn't really do anything when you join the membership except for help us with a coffee, as it were. Yes, this does have my name on it. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. We're doing, like I said, 39 through 42. A lot of interesting stuff happened here. Not a lot of action like we had in the last section. Of course, the last one we had the worm. But there's a lot of I'm just gonna say there's a lot of girl shit. There's a lot of girl shit in this.
All right.
It was hard to put down. I'll tell you this because you're not. I don't imagine there's a trial in which many women or men to be that go through where they find a worm, right? Or that's Indiana Jones shit. Like that's what we're looking at right there. In this one, there are like sections that are stereotypically female issues that are spoken about. We're talking about abusing a drug in order to forget the problems of your life, right? That's not necessarily that, but doing it to forget the things you have to do for a man.
Right.
There's like there's a large section, and I thought that was pretty interesting. It was interesting to read it, to begin to empathize with that for people who go through that kind of thing more. The listening to the music of Tam and knowing like, oh, that's Tamlin. That's like, that's his thing. The possession that led to the depression. I thought it was excellently. It was done well. And it wasn't super heavy-handed, which I appreciate a lot. I mean, it was heavy-handed, but the situation is dire. Like it doesn't.
It wasn't unearned.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It was earned depression, which sucks to say out loud. Right. Yeah, that's what we kind of got here, and I super appreciated it. I flew through 39, 40, and 41, read 42 a little bit later, but yeah. What do you? Am I hitting that on the nose? Like this is the first time we get to this in this story.
Yeah, I think that it feels a little bit like a backslide in some ways because we have been a little bit like this when she's trying to learn to accept that she's not going to go back home, right? So she's like kind of depressing and messy, and then she gets over it, and now it's like this is like she thought that she was upset about that when she was in a nice house surrounded by all these lovely things, and now she's in like a dungeon and everything is very bleak and hopeless, and so this is much more desperation, the lowest of the lows that we've seen her hit so far.
Right. It sucks. It sucks to read it, but I kept on reading. It sucks to read it. Other thing from this set of chapters that I thought was just, you really did get the Uber conversation with Rhys, and you could tell there were like moments where Rhys doesn't open up to anyone.
Right.
Like actually no one. Like you come to find out that because he knows everything about everyone already. You find out his mind powers are unbelievable. They're actually better than what you've been led to believe. But then there's a few moments where he lets out a little bit more and a little bit more, and then you get to the end where he's depressed also. Like he's not in the same boat. she can't really empathize with him, but she kind of does a little.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things where, okay, so like he makes her get drunk every night in front of all these people that hate her, and publicly like grind on him all night.
Yeah.
Like, because Lucian's like, you don't remember what happened? Okay, well, I guess I'll be the one to tell you. Like, yeah, he makes you dance for him, and not like the sweet kind that you're used to.
No, we're talking like prom 2004.
Like nursey.
Prom 2004 was.
So, yeah, he's like making her like grind up all up on him the whole thing, and then you come to find out like later in towards the last chapter when Rhys is confiding in her and basically saying all this stuff. He's like, you think you hate me now? Like, imagine what it's like to have to serve her in the bedroom, because like he's Amarantha's whore, and I think like this whole time you think that is something that he chose to gain power and to keep power.
Yeah.
And he seems to, because people keep talking about it and mentioning it, and he's like, yeah, well, like, but then come to find out, you're like, oh, wait, he didn't choose that either.
No.
So.
And it sucks. Yeah. Like.
And it sucks.
It's something. I'm so speechless because I can't empathize with his problem, and he's
you
straddling.
Can't empathize with. Okay, tell me more.
No, I can't empathize with being like having had my power taken away.
Right. Okay.
I can empathize. I don't quite understand it. Like, it's something that doesn't necessarily compute, because he's straddling the line between, I want to discourage hate, make feel bad this Tamlin character for his own reasons and for his own gain. Because it's, I don't think, I mean, it's polarizing in the book so far. It might be, you might come to find out that this isn't the case. But he says out loud, he says essentially, I'm trying to get him as mad at her as he could possibly be. And I hate her too. Like, I don't want to do the shit. So my only way out is to have somebody else do the thing. But he's so he's in such a powerful position that he can actually literally do whatever he wants in this scenario. It's kind of like Ariel from Little Mermaid, who I hate. I hate Ariel. I hate Ariel. I
can't wait to hear this.
I do. I hate Ariel because she's like, she's a queen in her own domain, and she's like, but I want more, right? And it's like, okay, sure, go get more. And she does, and then she loses her voice, and she can't speak to a dude she just met. It's like, okay, let's not teach this lesson to anybody that this isn't okay at all. And it turns out to be okay because she, but I'm like, you sound like a bitch. I thought that since I was a kid. I was like, this chick sucks. I love Disney princesses. There's just something that's always irked me a little bit about Little Mermaid. And
I agree with that, mostly because like they again, I always go back to the memes where it's like, if I can't attract this man, if I can't make this man fall in love with me with who I am and my voice, then how do I?
Right.
And Ursula's like, boobs. It's like, oh, no one matter. You don't matter as a person at all. All you really need is to be like.
And it's like true, so, which is the worst part. It's not factual, but it's the truth for so many people. And I'm just like, fuck, this sucks. Like, this is terrible. Bring me Jasmine. Bring me Belle.
Okay.
Anyway.
So why does Rhysand make you think of Ariel?
because the choice is because it's the same kind of choice. It's the same kind of like my situation's unbelievable. I have the best possible situation of any person on the planet right now, except for the person who's using me.
Right.
And I still like need to get out of it. It's just like, okay, dude, whatever. You know what I mean? I just like do it
Okay.
yourself. The reason I'm saying is like do it yourself. What are you doing? Like do it yourself.
Yeah, but
And his do it yourself is like I'm gonna let other people fight my battles for me.
is it that?
That's what it feels like because he's like I want Tamlin once he gets his powers back to stick his hand through Amarantha's chest, which I imagine he would do just right here, claws out, right? But uh, and he claims to just want his powers back, but he also
Mm-hmm.
wants to hurt Tamlin a little bit. Like I think it's some of both.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what do you? Am I wrong? Like, maybe I should read more. I just didn't feel bad.
I think that I appreciate the way the thoughts that you're bringing to it. As always, you bring a different perspective
Jeez,
than I do.
I'm about to get taught a lesson. I'm about to get taught something.
No, that is not true. That is not true. I just have never really seen it that way. But also, like, I don't know. I think I'm a very generous reader. Okay, when you read a lot of smut, you have to be very generous.
Yeah.
I think it is for me as well. As an actor, I'm just gonna yes and it. Okay, I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna be like, oh, those are the parameters. Cool. Yes and then go from there. So I've never really put too much thought behind specifically how Rhys is behaving in these specific chapters.
Okay.
But and again, having already read the entire series, I can totally see where you're at and why you think the things that you do. And the only thing I could say is that there has to be a reason why he can't just do that. And there is a lot of like conditional parts of this curse.
Yeah.
Right? Like they can say this, but they can't say that. They can do this, but they can't do that. And I think that that's possibly part of why it has to be somebody that's not him.
Yeah. It's got to be. And I'm sure she's holding him hostage in some way, shape, or form, also. So that's just kind of part of
Well,
it.
I mean, she straight up is for everybody though. Like, and that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, okay, he's got the best situation of all of them, but also it's like if he's still a slave, they're all still enslaved. Like, so even though he's got it better than everyone else, they remember a world where they didn't have to deal with that bitch.
Right.
They
Right.
didn't have to serve her. So
I guess my final thought though is like compared to Feyre, his problems aren't problems.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Well, that's the way it reads up until this point.
Yeah. And that's why I think they try to humanize him a little bit towards the end there, because it's like it's all trauma. So it's really hard to like compare degrees of trauma.
Sure. Yeah. And once again, Frieren, the anime, awesome for this kind of thing because of what I'm about to say. But like, trauma for an immortal is different for trauma for a human. So we gotta, yeah. That's and we also know that he's older than all of them.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
Rhys is way older than everyone that we've met so far.
Right. So I guess like what I think is interesting that you do not see often in any type of literature or really media at all is men having to deal with sexual assault.
Oh, that's interesting too. I never really had thought of that.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah. It's
like
true.
She's making him fuck her. And he does not want to.
Well,
So
but I hate to blame the victim, but I should have said I hate to blame the victim, but maybe don't show off this young girl that Tamlin also loves right in front of this chick.
I'm not saying that that is not problematic. This is a huge problem that people have with this book. This is
Okay,
a thing that
thank
people
you.
argue about.
Appreciate it.
This
Yeah.
is a thing. This is part of the things that that people have like take issue with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the taking of the lesser evils, the choosing the yeah, and it comes out that way. By this point, I'm doing the best in my possible situation, and that's the thing that like we've talked about this maybe a few times when it comes to grief. The thing that always sort of helped me when I was having moments of grief is understanding that people are trying to come to the realization that people are making the best decision they could possibly make at any given time
Right.
per their given condition. So
Right.
or conditions. So this is where he's at. Reese is at the point where he's at the finish line of this thing, and he lets his guard down for a moment, and you get this really cute pillow talk, which is my favorite part of any relationship. So both of those things fit me. Like, I love that part of the moment, but the conditions for me were just like, okay. You realize what she's been through? Like, old girl, not you, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
anyway, we had these moments of immortals who are going through rough patches, kind of falling for the downtrodden girl who just so happens to be hot and cool but can't fucking read, which goes to my next part, which was so fucking funny, and you're not supposed to laugh. I'm sitting there giggling. I'm sitting on a park bench. I'm sitting on a park bench laughing out loud because old girl can't read, and it almost gets Lucy killed. I thought it
And
was
what I
funny
think
as fuck.
hilarious is we never know what that trial actually was. Like, we don't even know because
We
she
never
can't
get to it.
read.
That's
We
so
never
funny.
find out.
That's so funny. So there's like 3 grasshoppers. I was like,
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh fuck, grass," and they were
what a
bouncing.
what a way to reinforce the human condition. And I mean
Right?
human compared to fairy. Like, you are too fucking poor to learn to read. And it almost gets the entire universe killed.
Right.
Actually, like, they were almost all fucked because she couldn't read. And Reese brings it up, or Lucy brings it up. I can't remember which. And it's like, I was laughing so hard. I know you're not
Reese,
supposed to. You're not
Reese
supposed to
is,
laugh.
of course, the whole like fate of all of the mortal realm and the world as we know it comes down to whether or not this poor white girl can read or not.
Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. It was
Yep.
like it
Makes me
was
laugh.
genuine. It was so
And
good.
poor Lucien.
Boy,
This whole time, things have just sucked for him this whole time.
he is the whipping boy, which
He really
sucks.
is.
He's like the Jimmy Olsen in the Superman story, where he just always gets like captured, and he's like cool and weird, and all the regular people kind of think he's handsome unconventionally, and then he's the one who gets screwed out of every situation. It's
Yeah.
just, it sucks. It's kind of fun, but it sucks.
And then, so, because he comes to her and he's like, why are you so dumb? Like, why did you make a deal with the devil, though? And she's like, because I was dying, bruh. Where were you?
I hate to do this again, but we did this in the last one because we were like, well, bitch, I'm trying to clean. This is the same thing. It's like, bitch, I was dying.
Where were you, though? Where were you? And then find out.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually bad news bears for him.
So, his brothers, because where we're from, his brothers remind me of like the Southern Appalachian bullies that they tell in stories where they're just fucking hicks, and they're like, hell, you come around these parts again, I'm gonna get you. And they're just all like, got dip in, or they're sucking on a anyway. They're just
I will never
assholes and they're
be able
wearing
to read parts of
overalls.
these. I'll never be able to read parts of these books again without thinking about that. And that is just so not the mental
Yeah.
image.
It's like the red hair that's like the orange red, you know what I'm talking about? Not
Yeah.
Lucian's red, but orange red, and they all have freckles, and they're all just wearing
Yeah.
overalls and flannel. Like they're the only actually ugly fairies. And no one wants to talk to them. And they take it out on everybody, including Lucy, who isn't hot, who is actually kind of the hot guy. Oh God, I was just They are yeah.
I love that that's how you see it. I don't see it that way. But I love that that's how you see that.
Yeah, they're probably the actual villains of the story for me. Like they're like high school bullies. It's like
They really are.
I fucking hate these guys. So funny to me. And
Yep.
and we get them mentioned, of course. I think obviously in my mind they're bigger characters than future stories. But in this one particularly, we get imagine if Lucy's brothers had found you, and I was like, those hicks, what? They don't know how to do anything. They're fucking useless.
See, I don't see it that way. Like I see them like I don't know, like an adult version of Sid from Toy Story. Like they're just like torturing
Yes,
things and people for no reason. Like they're just
similar vibe
and horrible for no reason.
Similar vibe. Yeah. They're the ones who use the
The microscope to like burn animals and ants and things.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same page about that. But there's a great scene in this with the adder. I actually love this scene.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites where the servants kind of pull her into an alcove, and the adder and a few others, something else, walk by and talk as to what Amarantha's doing and whether or not she's making the
and how that's playing into a different, like, bigger structure with Hybern.
I love this zoomed out thing because so much we're worried about the day to day with Feyre, and there's a few people who are thinking big picture, which she can't afford to do, and so I'm glad that she's got help throughout this journey. But the Adder continues to be a frightening character, and we don't know who the Adder was talking to. I imagine it's Lucy's dad. That's what I think, but could be anybody. It's meant to be anybody, but and so I just enjoyed that part because we got some from the servants,
right?
Where it's like, oh, this is I think the first moment we realize Rhys is not a terrible guy. I mean, he's terrible, but he's not Voldemort. He's more like Venom to Tamlin's Spider-Man. And then there's another scene that I didn't much care for, but I thought it was super important. It was the summer court. The summer court. Yeah.
Shattering the summer fairies' mind.
Yeah. Well, not deleting the summer fairy's mind and
deleting off the earth.
Amarantha's like, shatter its mind, and he's like, oh no. Like, I love that this grows the scope of Rhys's powers. This moment was needed politically, but it also was needed for that, right? That you're like, oh, this dude can read everyone's mind with the flick of a wrist. Not even it's not like turning on a gas stove. It just happens.
Right.
Which is cool. I like that that's the case.
And I think also it's questionable how it's written. It's questionable whether or not he is using compulsion to make Feyre do things as well. So, because he's like, drink up. And she's like, no, I'm good.
Right.
And he's like, drink. She's like, no. And then it's like she says something like, my hands like latch onto the cup, whether like unintentionally, not really wanting to do that. So it's written kind of like in a ambiguous way.
Yeah.
But obviously he can make some people do things whether or not they want to.
Yeah. And I've got
part of that scope of those powers we weren't exactly sure that he could do until now.
And I've got some thoughts towards that, but I do want to cover this too. There's the moment after the task where Feyre is completely depleted emotionally, everything, and he's coaching her through overcoming the intimidation of Amarantha.
Yeah, because he can speak in her mind.
Yeah,
that was new too.
Yes, and you could argue that's the first time he was human. He was good. He was thoughtful towards Feyre. At that moment, for me, it was like, oh, he just wants her to win selfishly, like super selfishly, not. But the first moment of like, oh, is when they're escorting her and the adder shows up. To me, that was like the first moment where I was like, okay, maybe this guy isn't that terrible. There's a given condition that's forcing his hand this way. But that first moment was cool. I like that he was like, stand up straight, stick your chin up, don't give in. It only make things worse. And it leads credence to like he's drugging her because he needs her to do the things that she's not going to be willing to do. Which sucks. Which is horrible. Like that's
it is. It's not great.
That's frat boy
not
shit.
It's not good. It's not a good for anybody.
I don't mean to say it's frat boy shit because frat boys do that, but it's very possessive and not okay. Given the things I've seen in the South and when I would spit times in bars, that sucks. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. He's straight up is possessive. I mean, that's why he paints her body. Is he's like, I want to be able to see that no one, I will remember, I can't remember exactly how he says it, but he's like, oh, I remember where my hands will be touching. And you're painted up like that so that I can be sure that no one touches my property.
Right. That's straight out of The Mummy or The Mummy Returns, which I loved. I was thinking that. I was like, oh, that's from The Mummy Returns. I love that. But the scene with Tamlin where he comes and touches her hand and she immediately comes to life. That was so cute. I was like, it's just so cute. And then they like disappear into a broom closet or down a hallway or something. And they're immediately about to bang. And thankfully Rhys shows up and is like, hey, fuck it. No, stop it. He bats him up. No.
God.
Don't do that. What is wrong with you people? I got shit to do. I'm trying to accomplish something right now. And then, they leave. And I thought it was great that Amarantha shows back up with Tamlin. And I was like, did Tamlin go and tell? Like, are Tamlin and Rhys in cahoots? That's where my mind is right now. Are they in cahoots? Like, is this a long, long, long play that's been going on for years?
Yeah.
So that's because if Tamlin goes and tells on him, that's where my mind goes. Not Tamlin hates him.
I did not read it that way. I've never read it that way. I read it more as like because Amarantha has all of their powers, right? She kind of knows where they are all the time. And so I think that I've always read it as she can't sit still for too long. Like she's a diva in need of an audience at all times.
Yeah.
And this is a moment where she's like, okay, but where's my favorite plaything though? Like, spend a minute. Let me and back to me.
Yeah.
So I kind of see it as like, yeah, they snuck away. Why are they in this closet? We're about to let me bring Tamlin to proof, because that's her whole thing. Is when she opens the door and finds the paint all messed up and Rhys's tongue in her mouth. She's like, see, this girl human says she loves you, but how quickly we're making out with Rhysand in a closet.
Right.
Doesn't that break your heart, Tamlin? Doesn't that break your heart? She doesn't love you. If she loved you, would she be making out with this dude over here, tall, dark, and scary? Would she be making out with him?
Right.
If she loved you?
Yeah, that makes better sense than how I read it. So thank you. I feel so stupid.
I got you.
I feel dumb as hell. No, I when I read these books, and I've got several sitting around here, the Illuminati thing, I always think Illuminati. I'm always thinking like, oh, there's a bigger picture. There's always a bigger picture. And often in books, it's like, nah, they're just all greedy. They're just greedy in their own way. It just so happens to be the same message from each of them. And I'm like, okay, or the similar thing. And so that's where I'm like, oh, is Rhys really a bad guy? Are we made to believe that Tamlin and Rhys have been long playing this? And I don't know. There is. So
they genuinely hate each other.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Like they really genuinely hate each other.
Yeah.
For many reasons.
Sure. And I can't wait to find out, to be frank with you. I think it's interesting. I will say my final thought here, and we can keep talking too if you have other things, but
I think it's like the North and the South too. Like it sets it up a lot like the North and the South, because he's in the tip top and Tamlin's in the very bottom, and the South had the slaves, right? The human slaves. The North believed not doing that.
Yeah. I got
it's
you.
It's kind of like the classic Civil War type setup.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because that helped. That brings a little bit of. They have fundamental differences, and it makes sense that because one is the brute strength is overwhelming, and the other one is completely like Professor Xavier. So, yeah. Which is kind of my final thought is I think it feels like, because Nesta was able to overcome a glamour charm. It feels like the willful can overcome the mind powers. That's it's hinted at that the entire book. Like this Rhys character has has the ultimate mind power, according to what we've read. But the willful can overcome the glamour, can overcome the mind control and all that kind of thing, depending on who they are. Is that something that, am I misreading that, or is that part of the thing too? Like, should I waste time thinking about that?
I don't think you should waste time thinking about that, because I think that, as far as I can remember, don't take this as gospel, okay? Because I'm rereading at the same rate you are. I think Nesta is the only one that was not taken by it.
Okay.
The only one.
Cool. Good deal. Great. And then the kiss that we were just talking about, did we miss anything, by the way? I don't think so.
I'm just like quickly skimming to be sure that we did it.
Lucy gives her a coat, which I thought was cute. And she was like, I can't take your coat. They'll find out. It's like, it's a guard's coat. I stole it from a guard.
Fine. I stole it from this dude over here. It's all good.
I thought this was
oh yeah, there's definitely some things in here that I highlighted that I'm like,
oh, okay. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
There's definitely there's some things that I was like, oh fuck, she just basically, okay, all right, well, if you know, you know, I guess. I didn't catch it because I didn't know, and now that I know, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. I didn't catch on to this stuff.
I know. No, don't be sad. Don't be sad, because it just means when you do the reread of this later, because you will, because this series is so good. You're going to be like, these motherfuckers. Here the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
I'm like calming my brain right now to be like, what did I miss?
It is the most innocuous details. You would never be able to go, oh, I bet it's that.
Oh, the chandelier. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You would never, ever. There's zero reason for you to even have an inkling of anything, because the stuff that is so like, are you kidding me, is like so innocuous. But later, you're like, Sarah, way to go. So
Well,
I had a few moments like that for
it's,
this one.
well, it's like there are titans in the walls in Attack on Titan, which that happens, and it's like, why are there titans in the walls? And then they follow through 3 seasons later with why that happens. But okay, all right, cool. No, it was like I said, we talked a lot about. We didn't even like cover the specifics that happened. It was more like,
Right.
oh, there's girl shit, there's the depression, there's the music, okay. So I've been asked a bunch of times. I'm sure you have too, by people I know. What is a stage kiss like?
Oh yeah.
And it's not as violating as what's being described here with Rhys and Feyre. It's not nearly as violating, but it's almost like that. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's almost like zero feelings. It's like, oh, that guy's tongue's in my mouth. Okay. And then you just move forward. I don't know how else to describe it. But
I think the difference majorly though is like when it's a stage kiss, it's both sides are aware that it's about to happen.
For sure.
And it's genuinely for show. And this kiss was for show.
Genuinely, like I don't think there was any point to it other than that.
Well, the point to it was that Tamlin had fucked up all of the paint all over her body.
Right.
Because they were going at it. And so Rhys had to kind of like make it appear that he had done that so that Tamlin was safe from that.
Right. Because Tamlin's got to but going back, and I don't mean it to sound I don't mean to sound rapey. That's not my point. My point was that it was a production. Like it was
I agree with you. Well, and I think like with bringing Amarantha's point is she's like, look at this slut who doesn't really love you. But the other difference is like Tamlin knows that wasn't Rhys's hands.
Right.
And that's why like she's never touched inappropriately either, because he says the only thing I have is this proof that I while yes, I did do some really awful things to debase, and I never violated. And that is proven by the fact that this paint is here. My hands were never anywhere inappropriate. Like I tried my best. That's the only way that he maybe won't try to kill me after he tries to kill her. Is to say, I know, bro, but like I didn't touch it. I promise I didn't touch her. Like but I think that's also kind of what helps to ramp up some of the anger too, is because when they open the door and he's got his tongue in her mouth, Tamlin knows she doesn't want that. And she's probably struggling too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. It's all a production. Like, I'm sure he can even tell. He's like, oh.
Right.
Like,
but also,
I'm a high lord.
It would also add to the anger, I think, though.
For sure. For sure. I think it adds to the anger against Amarantha more than it adds to the anger for...
Correct. Towards Amarantha, yes. Yeah.
Because Tamlin being an immortal and having had to have like long form strategies, like has to be like, oh, that was necessary. I get it.
Yeah. So I do have to ask you this. This is something that I'll ask you again later, once we've finished. But I have to ask you. Tamlin's been silent this whole time. Like we have not, and Lucien says to her, because she's like, is he okay? Like he's under a spell. Like Feyre thinks that he can't talk to her because he's not talking to her or really like making eye contact or making any sort of emotions known. And Lucien's like, yeah, dummy, it's because like, have you ever not stopped to think he doesn't want to give her ammunition to know what's going to hurt him the most? So he just like clams up and doesn't say or show any emotion or speak or whatever. Then it's the night before the final trial. So very much could be her last night alive. And then he makes a move, and that's how it all unfolds. So how do you feel? What is your read on this situation thus far? Because we have seen a lot of how she's surviving and trying to make this work. We've seen a lot of the Rhysand side of how he's trying to play kind of like both sides against the middle to get out from underneath this situation. But we haven't really seen anything except anecdotally from other people talk about Tamlin's, how he's dealing with it. So what is your read on Timmy Tam? Why though? Why is he doing it like this? What's your read on it?
Yeah. So once again, my brain immediately goes to Illuminati long game stuff. But from the very beginning, my thought was, oh yeah, this is really thoughtful. This is everything Tamlin's doing up until what we saw was extremely thoughtful. Like the kill him with indifference, even just it was like, the greatest outcome for everyone that's involved is for me not to, and it is the greatest outcome. If anything happens, the spells, everyone suffers if I do anything. Not just me, not just her. Everyone suffers. Like it's like kind of heroic in a weird way. That's how I read it from immediately. I was like, oh, this is heroic. Like, this guy is doing what is correct and right. They're both correct and right, which aren't the same thing all the time.
Right.
So that's how I read it. I don't know. Is it read that? I mean, it's from Feyre's point of view too, and so she sees him as like this, not only a phenomenal lover and star-crossed and whatever, but she sees him as a High Lord God character, and so I just, maybe it's a false narrator kind of situation, but no, I just saw it as like, oh, this is noble. Like this is what nobility looks like.
Yeah, I think.
Like I didn't give it a second thought, to be frank with you.
Cool.
The only thing about the scene we just had where he's like abducted her for a moment, literally, not really abducted her, but is that
broom closet all by herself.
She's. I love the way the closer described.
You would too.
Oh yeah, the way the way that a closer described. I was like.
To the point where even like Lucy's like, I do not need to see a bunch of you ever again. Please just put this damn clothes. No, you keep it though, because I don't need to see your ass again. Thank you.
Oh, boy. Yeah. But it also told me, and like to me, it makes me think that Tamlin thinks she's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like Tamlin has no hope for this third trial. Like this will be impossible. So
you thought it was like a kiss goodbye?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's out of character for him to go out of his way to do this. Like if he thought the curse would be broken tomorrow, then he doesn't make this action. Because he's been so stoic this entire time. So I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad. Whatever the next 3 chapters hold, this is bad. If he's broken his like pattern.
Well, you're about to find out.
Yeah.
Because the last 3 chapters are the last 3 chapters.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta say, prediction time. I gotta say, I was kind of hoping there would be some sort of, like a hand through a chest, revolution starts today kind of thing that happens right after this trial, whatever the trial is. I'm now to the point where I'm like, Amarantha's like, oh, she won? All right, I'm bored. Go off.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Well,
point
yeah.
that it's like, oh, we're planning for the sequel. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. So the first trial was the worm. So it was like physical. It was almost like a physical kind of test, right? The second trial was brains. So it was like a riddle. Too bad homegirl just couldn't read it. And we also didn't cover, but basically, like, Rhys gives her the answer by making like her feel pain when she was about to reach for the wrong knob. So, but it was supposed to be like a test of brawn. And so the third test is a different test, and you've already kind of made some assumptions about what you think that is. I will not confirm nor deny.
Don't. Yeah, I mean it's okay. I'll be done in I'll be done before noon today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So there you are. As far as there's a whole other third trial that's going to test her in a new way, in a different way. And then we get to the end of the book. So,
I will say I love that the glove, the tattoo it's not just a possession, a level of possession. It's not just like marking your slave. It's actually has function.
Yeah.
I love that that's a part of it too. Because I was like, oh, it's just a cool tat. Like,
right.
I wish I could see this on other women. I think this would be cool. But
right.
I love that it, as things go, I love that it has that capability.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
Like providing the connection. To be able to say, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, these 4 chapters, I just whoosh, right through them. It wasn't even a question. I love how writers, and this is tangent, we can talk about this later, but I like there's like 2 avenues of thought here where a writer will write a polarizing or a 2-part chapter where it's like a consequence happens and then the beginning of another action happens, or it's like what the first chapter was, which was short moment, short moment, short moment, short moment, short moment. I'm newerish to reading, by the way, fans of The Kitchen Couch. I did not read a book in high school or college ever. My first book, I was like 23 years old. So I don't do this recreationally or hadn't historically. I love that writers do that. I think my favorite type is the sweeping, the out of one situation into the next, rather than the blam, 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 blam. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that both have a place depending on what's going on. But yes, I think the best and the books that live in my memory forever, the ones that I just wish I could, I wish I could wipe my brain clean so I can reread some books for the first time again and have that experience again, having not knowing what's happening. A reread is great. I'm picking up so many things because I've read and I've listened to the series often, many times, because there's audio books, and then there's something that I think you would actually really love, Luke, and it's called like a graphic audio, and it's where they go in and they cast these characters with real voice actors, and then they have the same actor playing the same role through the whole thing, and there's sound effects, there's underscoring, there's all this stuff. So it's like their tagline is like, it's a movie in your mind, but it's like an old-timey radio play. So you would love it. So like I've read these all through with my eyeballs. I have listened to the full audiobook of all of these. I've listened to the graphic audio of all of these. So this is the first reread I'm doing with my eyeballs. And that's how I'm picking up new pieces and all of the things that I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that she had said that, or that's so obviously a whatever to the next thing. So that's really special. But all the books that I love the most, I think have that more sweeping factor where things are happening, and not to say like Illuminati, but it's like everything has a point and a purpose, and you don't even really realize that it is a sweep. Sometimes it feels like a boop, 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 until later when you realize it wasn't a boop, boop, boop. It was you just didn't realize it yet. And those are my very favorites.
I can't agree more. I can't agree more. We talked in previous iterations of this that the having you don't necessarily write to meet an end. You address consequences of actions and then continue to address them until you get to an end. In that writing style, it like you're talking about, it kind of just carries you through what's happening. But the story circle that they have in other kinds of storytelling, which is like Community, the show Community, or Dan Harmon's story circle is infamous for writers, and I find that kind of awesome too. That's not being illustrated in this book at all whatsoever. But I will tell you, there was a part of me when reading this where I was like, oh, is she going to wake up at the end of this? Not this story, at the end of all these stories, and she just is woken up the next day right after killing the wolf.
Oh my God, I hate those things.
Yeah, me too.
I
thought that. I was like, oh, was it a fever dream? Was it the first time she actually?
That. It's such a cop out. I hate that.
Me too.
I hate it.
Me too. So I'm glad that doesn't happen. Thank you for telling me that doesn't happen. Thank you. Because I hate that. I was like, oh God, is that about to happen? Are we about to like? Oh, she just wakes up and she's laying next to Nesta in LA.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This is such a tangent. But it's exactly what okay. I hate those things so much, to the point, and I think a lot of people do, and I think that is why, specifically in Doctor Who, the Dr. Donna situation, where he has to wipe her memory so that she survives or she will die, and so she literally wakes up the next day and she thinks everything was a dream, and she has no idea that she saved the entire universe, and the only way that she gets to stay alive and the only way the Doctor can save her is to delete all of the growth and all of the because she's she hates herself, and then she becomes the most powerful, most important being in the universe. And the only way to protect her is that she can't remember that she saved the world. She can't remember that she's more than and better than what she was. And so she wakes up the next day and thinks it was all a dream. And that crushes me.
I hate it.
I have never cried and sobbed more over anything than the end of that season of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And the destruction of Dr. Donna.
I agree. That was lazy. It was lazy.
I don't think it was lazy. I think it was literally heartbreaking.
Oh, I
didn't see it as lazy. I saw it as the most, almost like a Rose moment. It was just the most heart-wrenching way that he had to say goodbye yet again to somebody else.
Well, like you said, the reason I say it's lazy is because that was an end that was conceived before we got close to the end.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
I'm like, okay, let's not do that. Now, same argument you could be made for River Song and Amy Pond and all of that kind of stuff. We could talk about that for days.
Right.
But
that's a different show. Not that
those are also different writers. Those are different, right? Amy Pond's story. They're anyway. Moffat.
Sorry for that tangent, everyone, but also Doctor Who's pretty cool if you want to watch it.
It's all right. There are episodes of Doctor Who that are some of the best episodes of television ever made.
I agree.
I think the Blink is maybe my favorite all-time television episode is Blink. Anyway, I think that's all we've got. Did we cover everything? Okay.
Yeah.
The next chapters are the final 3 chapters, 43 and through 46. We will be hopefully get that to you guys soonish. I know old girl here is on retreat currently, hanging out. and then I'm kind of busy for like a couple of days, so it'll be soonish. And then we'll have some other content on top of this where we'll discuss maybe the whole book, do some fan casting, what have you, and then we'll jump into season 2 or whatever. What's the name of the second book? Do you know?
Do I know? A Court of Mist and Fury.
Oh, it's not A Court of Thorns and Roses 2?
Part 2. No, it's
also
Mist and Fury.
Mist and Fury. Okay. But I think that's all we've got.
Mysterious and angry.
It's a court of tornadoes and hurricanes. If you like this content, please
like and subscribe.
Thank you. And join the membership if you want to support the channel. But until next time, later, taters.
Peace.